Okay. I hope I'm doing this right. So it said to just simply load the save that you made at the end of beating the game. So I'm hoping just hitting continue game will do just that. We'll be able to tell once we see what suit he's wearing on the shuttle, if I did it right.
Isaac, it's me. I wish I could talk to you. I'm sorry. I'm sorry about everything. I wish I could just talk to someone. It's all falling apart here. I can't believe what's happening.
So, I want to apologize for how small the subtitles are. I was able to... So, when I first booted up this game... with the new modder, it immediately went to 800 by 600, which just kind of gives you an idea of how dated this is, or that it immediately defaults to that. So I was able to adjust it to my new monitor, the resolution, but there's no option to make the subtitles bigger. So because I have the bigger resolution, it makes the subtitles look very, very small. So I apologize that the subtitles are very small, but there's just nothing that I can do about it.
It's strange. Such a little thing.
How many times you watched that thing? Guess you really miss her. Don't worry, we're almost there. You'll be able to look her up once we're on board. Sounds like you do have a lot of catching up to do.
All right, everyone, we're here. Sinking our orbit now.
All this trouble over that chunk of rock.
So I apologize again because, look, I'm going to be pausing at times to talk about certain things just to really help expand on what's going on in the story, to let you guys know what's really going on. So I mentioned in the previous part that there were a couple of animated movies that they actually made to help expand on the series and the story, especially for the first game, but it was also leading into the second game. One of those films was called Dead Space Downfall. The story of that movie is literally everything that happens on that colony and the ship we're about to go to, the Ishimura, from the time they find the artifact. I know I'm kind of spoiling a bit of the story here, but I have all the logs, so, if you're here to avoid getting spoiled about the story, you're not the right place, because I'm going to be spoiling stuff, just a heads up. The movie starts when they find the artifact, and the movie ends when this right here happens. When this shuttle, the Kellion, arrives and puts out the call, "This is the Kellion, we are responding to your distress call," and the movie ends. That is literally the end of that film. So the film just ended, and we are arriving to then respond. So if you ever want to see what happened here, on that colony and on this ship before we arrived, check out that movie. I will say that movie is also extremely violent, extremely bloody and gory and violent. It's very mature. Even though it's an animated movie, they did not hold back on the violence in that. But if you have seen that movie, just moments ago, the security chief, I believe her name was Alyssa, has drifted off into space, in her last dying breath, just as we arrive. And I always thought that was just, really cool that they really timed that film to be, right up until the moment that we show up here. I thought that was just great. The other film leads into Dead Space 2, which expands more also on what happens here on the Ishimura and the colony, but, again, that's more so something you would watch before you play Dead Space 2, because it involves a character you interact with in Dead Space 2, but anyways.
Deep space mining is a lucrative business, Ms. Daniels. Aegis 7 is a gold mine according to prospectors' reports. Cobalt, silicon, osmium. Now, where is she? There she is. We have visual contact.
So that's Ishimura. Impressive.
The USG Ishimura. Biggest planet cracker in her class.
I also want to go ahead and talk about something else real quick, because they are literally on the screen, so it's on my mind. The gentleman who is playing Hammond, the gentleman on the right, the thing that I remember him from was a show they had that was about Spartacus. I think it was called Spartacus Blood and Sand, and he was one of the characters in that. I thought he was really cool. So I was just kind of like, oh, this guy is in this game. That's awesome. There's another great voice actor in this. I'll talk about him when we get there. But you'll also, I want to go ahead and point something out, which is something you're probably finding out if you've been noticing people play the remake. You'll notice that Isaac hasn't said a word yet. This has just been a two-person conversation right now, with Isaac not involved. That's because we are never going to hear Isaac say a single word in this game. So they went the silent protagonist route with Isaac Clarke in this game. And let's just say I was very giddy when they brought the voice actor, because they then got a voice actor for him in Dead Space 2 and Dead Space 3, Gunnar Wright. They brought him back for the remake, and let's just say watching just this intro alone, but hearing Isaac talk in the remake during this scene alone, just put a big smile on my face. But yeah, if you're expecting, like, if you're wondering, why isn't Isaac talking? Because he doesn't have a voice actor. Which is funny, because we are going to hear him make grunts and, like, noises like, ah, ah, but if he gets hit or something. But apparently that wasn't good enough. I'm not even sure that was Gunnar Wright. That may have just been some guy in the office just doing rah, rah, type of noises, for all I know.
Looks like they already popped the cork.
Why is it all dark? I don't see any running lights.
Corporal, take us in closer and hail them. And stay clear of that debris field. We're here to fix their ship, not the other way around.
USG Ishimura, this is the emergency maintenance team of the USG Kellion responding to your distress call. Come in, Ishimura.
You're gonna need to boost the signal if their power's low.
Yes, we know. Boost the signal. More.
Never heard of a total communications blackout on one of these things. You'd think with 1,000 people on board, someone would pick up the phone.
What is that?
It's a busted array like we thought. Sounds like they're having problems with their encoder. You get us down there and Isaac and I can fix it. 48 hours max.
All right, you heard the lady. Take us in. Let's see what needs fixing.
Gravity tethers engaged. Automatic docking procedures a go.
What the hell?
Sir, the auto dock.
What is it?
We're off track. We're gonna hit the hull.
Hit the blast shields. That guidance tether's damaged. Switch to manual, now.
Inside the magnetic field? Are you insane? Abort!
No! We can make it inside. Corporal, I gave you an order.
The field's too strong!
Is everyone okay?
What? What the hell were you thinking? Were you trying to get us killed?
I just saved our asses, Miss Daniels. If we had aborted at that speed and distance, we'd have smashed right into the side of the Ishimura. Now settle down.
So, I'm pausing on his face here because I want you guys to take a look at his face, because that's one of the only times that we're actually going to get to see his face. We see his face here, and we see it at the end of the game after we beat the game. That's it. All the rest of the time, he's going to be wearing a helmet. But I want to show you his face right now because this was kind of a... I don't know who they made this off of, but they decided to kind of, I guess, carry it over to the second, third game. And then if you're wondering, well, why does he look different in the remake? Because they wanted to do motion capture and recapture the face of the actual voice actor. But the other reason I want to bring this up is because I found out in lore, Isaac is supposed to be in his 50s. I bring that up because we're going to be seeing this man do quite a bit in this that just makes you go, dang, that's impressive for an old man in his 50s. But then again, he is wearing a very powerful and strong engineering suit, which I'm sure helps him with that. But yeah, I just wanted to go ahead and reemphasize that. Also, I want to also let you guys know about something else. The girl we saw on the video call at the beginning, Nicole. Now, how old do you think she is based on how she looked in that? In her 20s, maybe early 30s? I found out she's apparently in lore supposed to be 45 years old. I bring that up again because of what I saw in terms of the change in actor for the remake. But again, I'll talk about that more when we get there. But it's just amusing to me that here we have Nicole, who looks like she's in her 20s or 30s, and she's apparently 45. And then we have Isaac here, which if you look at him, I would say maybe he's in his older 30s, early 40s. And yet he's in his 50s, and it's just kind of like, huh? You know. But then also, you look at how they look in the remake, and Isaac actually looks younger. Kudos to Gunnar Wright. He looks very good. I don't know how old he is, but if that's supposed to be how Isaac looks in his 50s, man, he looks good for his age, is what I would say. And Nicole apparently looks older but I guess she's supposed to be more lore appropriate. I don't know how old the actress is, but hey, if they were going for, well, since Nicole is supposed to be 45 years old in lore, let's get an actress who kind of matches that. Again, I don't know how old the actress is, but it just comes across to me as if that's what they were going for. But anyways, let's go ahead and continue.
Let's get to work. Corporal, report.
I'm not getting any readings from the port booster, and we've lost comms and autopilot. It'll take some time to fix.
All right, let's get some extra hands from flight deck to help out.
Hold still, Isaac. I'm syncing up everyone's rig with the ship. Okay, we're done. Clean bill of health for everyone.
All right, we've still got a job to do. We're moving out.
In case you're wondering, yes, my rig is fully upgraded. And this is the level 5 suit. We will be getting the level 6 suit the first chance we get to the store. And I already have the plasma cutter, which is fully upgraded. So yeah, it carried over everything that I had from the end of the game. So yeah, I've got my med pack still here and all my plasma energy, and there at the bottom is the level 6 suit schematic. I now have 14 nodes. As I said, the entire rig is fully upgraded, including the stasis and the kinesis. I have top air and top health points, and I've got 155,000 credits. So I'll be able to purchase a suit, which is going to be 99,000 credits. So, anyways.
Use run to move quickly.
Oh, yeah. Huh. There's only a med pack here. I was curious because in the remake, there's a log right here that actually gives you more backstory. But that's one of the differences between the original and the remake, is that they actually want to expand more on the story in the remake compared to this original, which you could see as if they were doing some kind of standalone. Also, I want to point out that there is nobody left on the shuttle. There is just me, Isaac, Kendra, Hammond, and the pilot, who I don't even think they actually... I think he referred to him as Corporal. I don't think he even said his name, which just goes to show you that apparently in this original, he didn't have a name. He was just some nameless, I guess, red shirt to die right at the beginning of the game here, just like Star Trek, just to let us know how bad the situation is. Whereas in the remake, they have somebody else over here in the cockpit who it's left behind, and she has a name, and this guy also has a name. But that's for when we get to the remake. I'm just pointing this out in case any of you have been looking at stuff about the remake and don't remember stuff about the original. That's probably why I'm doing this, because I'm sure people are looking at the remake and haven't seen that many recent 2008 original playthroughs to remind themselves about the differences.
You didn't lose power to the port booster. You lost the port booster. Unbelievable.
Welcome, CEC employee, to the USG Ishimura. The Ishimura was the first Planet Cracker class vessel and is now the oldest serving, with 62 years of continuous service. It holds the record for
Guess the power's
highest
down
number of
everywhere.
planet cracks, with
Isaac,
34
get over here and
titanium
hack the door pad.
highest dead weight of refined product at 14 trillion kilotons and counting. Whether you'll be joining us aboard the Ishimura or strengthening the extraction workforce on the colony, the captain and crew would like to welcome you, and we hope your stay is a pleasant one. Concordance Extraction Company, powering humanity into the future.
So those play only once. They don't play on a loop, apparently. I just find it funny that those play as we arrive. It's like they have that program that, oh, there's a new rival. Play the intro video to remind people about, how wonderful the company is and how wonderful everything is with the CEC and yeah. Also, I apologize. Apparently, there actually are two of them here, but let's just say both of them are not going to. They may as well be wearing red shirts, is what I'm getting at. If you understand the red shirt reference to Star Trek, you know what I'm talking about. They're both wearing red shirts right now. And I'm pretty sure they don't even have a name, because I don't think I've heard anyone even say their names. Fortunately, they actually do get names in the remake, but that's another time. In fact, it looks like they're both guys. So, never mind. This is so strange to be able to do this right from the get-go, because normally until you get the plasma cutter, you're not able to do any of this or interact with any of this. They're like, Isaac, why are you firing at stuff? Sorry. Just looting, that's all.
Seems like everyone was trying to pack in a hurry.
There should be a security detail in here.
Yeah? Well, there's not. There's nobody here. I can't pick up any broadcasts.
But that security console's still live. Isaac, log in and see what you can find. Kendra, get that elevator back online.
Power's dead. I can't.
Then reroute the damn power! Look, if we all cooperate, we can figure this out a lot sooner. Let's get that computer display up, Isaac.
So I said that I think that this game has actually aged pretty well.
To find your next objective.
Keep in mind, I'm also not running this on the highest settings. I'm actually running this on medium settings because, let's just say there were certain parts of the game that was giving me some stuttering and frame rate issues, so I turned it down. Because I prefer to have a smoother frame rate, especially when you are playing a shooter that relies on smooth frame rate to be able to get decent aiming and shooting, because, well, I mentioned the mouse issues. But I will say there's one thing that just makes me chuckle and laugh when it comes to, when I say that this game has aged decently well when it comes to the graphics, but then I see Kendra's hair. I'm sorry, but the way that just, like, stays, like, in place, like, it's like, it doesn't even separate, it's just flapping. I'm sorry, that's the part that makes me laugh the most. Just look at her hair. It's not even, it's just floating there, and it just stays still. That's the one part about the graphics that just makes me laugh when it comes to, look at how hilarious this game is when it comes to the graphics right now. Alright, so let me remind myself, how many slots do I have? Okay. So I'm going to do something that a lot of people found out about and then have started to do when it comes to kind of a tradition thing. Which is, I'm going to try to make a save slot for every chapter. Oh. Okay, so it looks like the game actually bumped up the difficulty to medium. Not sure how I feel about that. I guess the question is, do I have the option to turn it down during the game? Probably not, but you know what? Fine. Fine. I cleared it on easy, so we're going to do New Game Plus on normal. Or medium, I guess. There, you guys happy that want me to play it on higher difficulty? Fine, I'll play this on medium. I mean, after all, I've already got, like, fully upgraded stuff. The only things I have not upgraded are the other weapons, because like I said, I didn't even get the other weapons, because I was just going for a plasma cutter only run, which I did. So we'll be able to actually mess around with the other guns, and I'll talk about each of the other guns when we get them, because, as I said, I have the trophies that had me do multiple kills with each gun. So anyways, who's ready to start this, get this kicked off with quite an interesting intro here to really help set the tone. And boy, is it rather famous and iconic.
Huh, that doesn't look good. She's taking a lot of damage.
There's something else I also wanted to really talk about, and that is the UI elements. You've seen those things pop up, right? This is one of the only games I can ever think of where a lot of the UI elements for the game are mainly directly from your gear, from your rig. Like an in-universe thing. Like it's an actual in-universe thing where your rig helps give you this kind of advice or even tutorials on these things. And it's just fascinating. I've never really seen another franchise utilize the UI when it comes to all the information the player needs to know about certain things that are literally come from your character, from your suit, from Isaac. You want to know what your health is? You see it right there on the back. You want to know what your stasis is? It's right there on your back. You want to see what your ammo is? When you hold up your gun, you see how many shots you have left in your weapon. And then, of course, you can pull up your inventory, which is a display from your suit, which is something that Isaac himself would be looking at and messing around with. I just love that UI element in this franchise. I think it's wonderful and fantastic.
The tram system's offline.
This right here.
It's gonna be difficult. The air seems to be flowing again. That's a start.
What the hell was that?
Automatic quarantine must have tripped when the filtration system restarted. Everybody relax.
What was that?
Not sure.
What the hell? I don't know. Something's in the room with us.
Jesus! Open fire! Open fire! Kendra, power! Kendra!
Come on. Come on. Got it!
Isaac, get the hell out of there!
The door's unlocked! Run!
Run, Isaac! Get the hell out of there!
So, that intro right there, I mean, what a way to start off and set the tone. In case you're wondering, I have the music turned down because of course I do. This is YouTube and I want to avoid copyright. However, even though I have it turned down, I hope you were able to hear some of it in the background there once the necromorphs, as those things are called, which I'm sure you saw them and went, oh, that's gross. Yeah, get used to that. You're gonna get a lot of that in this game. But what I find interesting, and the way horror music is utilized is such an interesting thing. I've heard various different versions and things, and just what people decide to kind of focus on and emphasize on when it comes to what music they think is scary, or really helps set the tone, or gets other people who are experiencing the scary thing in the mindset. And now, I don't know if you could hear it, but there seemed to be a lot of strings involved in there. Now, I very recently got to experience the original Psycho movie for the very first time. I just had not seen it until now. And so I finally got to see it. And one of the things that really impressed me about that movie was the score. The music of that film was amazing. It really is a huge reason why I think that movie became such a classic. In fact, I heard that Alfred Hitchcock actually raised the pay raise of the gentleman who made that score. I think he doubled it, because he said like a third of the movie's success was because of the music, and I absolutely agree. And a lot of that was, of course, we all know the famous hey, 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 from the shower scene, and that's, of course, used on the other kill in that movie as well. And it just seemed as if what they were going for was that strings music helps build up the tension, or makes people anxious. Like, if you're listening to the music of that film, what do you feel? Anxious, right? Well, that's probably what they may have been going for. At least that's what my assumption is, what they were going for. And I think that's what also the developers were going for with this. I mentioned that they got inspiration from John Carpenter's The Thing when it came to the necromorphs and all the body horror that you're going to see in this game. But I wouldn't be surprised if they also got inspiration from films like Psycho when it came to what they wanted to do for the music. Because the music gets very intense, and it really builds up the tension and the anxiety for the player. And I'm sure that would have been a very nice inspiration for them to get that from. Anyways, just wanted to go ahead and share that. Now, normally if this was a new run, we would go over here. Pleasant looking, right? This is where you would get the plasma cutter. And this is what I like about this is that this is the first initial hint to the player of what you're supposed to do to deal with those things. This is not a game where you shoot them in the head to get a headshot and that's it, they're dead. No. You have to, take them apart. As it says, cut off their limbs. I have just had... This is my default right here. Because the first thing I do and go for it is shoot their legs. Cut their legs out from under them, and then I can rotate this to probably take out their arms. But by then, they will be on the ground, and they'll have propped up their arms to kind of pull themselves toward me with their arms, and that's when I can shoot it like this. So, anyways. Nope, can't do that. Take the money. Always take the money, Isaac. Come on. Yeah, I mentioned a lot of gore. Like I said, if this is something that really grosses you out, do not watch this playthrough. Stay as far away from this game franchise as possible. But that right there is an example of why I don't get very scared when I'm playing this. Because I have this really, strong armored suit, and I have this. Plus, I'll get some other really cool weapons as we progress in the game. Also, whoops. So, this is the map. I don't really like this map. I don't like how it's controlled. I have to hold down the mouse button and do this to rotate it. Otherwise, I could zoom in here to see where I am, or zoom out, but then it doesn't have the right angle. I don't think this is a great map. This is the journal, basically, to let you see what your current missions are, and then this is the database for all the logs. And I'm pretty sure, because I've already picked them up, I'm not going to be able to actually... Or maybe I haven't picked all of them up, because I'm probably missing something. But I'm going to try and see if I can actually play the logs for you. I guess from here I have to, because I don't recall actually if I can actually pick them up. I don't think I can pick them up in the New Game Plus. I may have to just simply play them for you right here. You know, so there may be times where I just stand here and just play logs for you guys. So. And Q scare.
Collect and use health packs to replenish your health bar.
Don't need that one.
This is Benson. Everybody listen up. They're using the vents. That's how they're getting around the ship. Stay away from down. Get back. Get back.
Okay, so it looks like we will be able to actually pick up the other logs. Okay.
Isaac! Isaac! God, I can't believe you made it.
Isaac, we ran into more of them on the way over here. Are you okay?
More what? What the hell are those things? Is that the crew?
Keep your voice down. Whatever they are, they're not friendly, and half the doors on this ship are locked because of the quarantine. Now, we have to get to the bridge, but first, we gotta repair the tram system.
You're crazy, Hammond. You're gonna get us all killed.
If you listen to me, I will get you out of here alive. Now, what's wrong with the tram?
The data board is fried, but there should be a spare in the maintenance bay. There's also a broken tram blocking the tunnel that needs to be repaired. Damn it! Everything is on the other side of this quarantine. We can't reach it from here.
No, we can't. But you can. Isaac, if I can get to the bridge, I should be able to access the personnel files. You fix the tram, and I'll help you find Nicole.
Use the map screen to check objectives and important locations.
So in case you're wondering, if it has a white light, that means you can open it and loot it. If it has a red light, you cannot mess with it. Okay. So this was supposed to be an easy job. We show up here, repair their ship, and then head on home. After he gets to catch up with his girlfriend, of course. Although I'm not entirely sure if they're just boyfriend and girlfriend, or if they're like roommates, like as if they live together, or if they're actually married. I don't think I've ever actually gotten confirmation on what their status was as a couple. Isaac and Nicole, I mean. I'd like to assume that they were actually married, because it would then make more sense why he would go to the lengths he does in this game to try and save her, compared to if let's just say they were just boyfriend and girlfriend. I'd be like, dang, Isaac, you're going through a lot for a girlfriend. But who knows how long? Maybe they've been dating for a number of years and they were planning on tying the knot at some point soon. Who knows? You know. I actually cannot remember what their status was in terms of how close they were, but anyways. By the way, that's one of the things I mentioned the UI elements, like this right here. Like, being able to pull up the rig, and Isaac is, and you can rotate this. So, when conversations are happening, he can be able to go and do this. It reminds me of Batman Arkham Knight, when he would have a conversation on his wrist with Oracle or Alfred, and then you could rotate this and see that he was looking at this screen. That's what it reminds me of, and I wonder if they took inspiration from this franchise when it came to that particular element. But Isaac himself is right now looking at this, and he's like, okay, so I've got this many health packs, I've got my plasma cutter, got this much ammo for it, oh, I got the schematic, I gotta get to a store, I got 160,000 crits, I got a lot of money. I also have a lot of nodes, but I'm gonna need some other guns to put those in, because I have everything else fully upgraded. Like, he's doing this, and I love that element. I love that this is all something that is in universe when it comes to the UI element that the player needs, but it's everything you need is like able to be like right here. Like, Isaac can be like, okay, so I've got 20 shots for my plasma cutter here. I just love this element, and I don't see it in many other games, if any others, compared to this franchise. So when we return, we've got to go fix the tram system so we can get around this gigantic ship. Remember, there's supposed to be 1,000 people on this ship. This is a big ship. The Enterprise back in TOS had about 400. This ship has 1,000 people on it. Which, if they are all those things, whoo boy, we've got our work cut out for us. Stay tuned.